Alright, fitness journey update. I've been working on overcoming my plantar fasciitis. The foam rolling helped a lot, but what really helped me was after I watched an Athlean video, which I'll post in the description. He gave certain exercises to increase foot mobility because he explained in the video how when your soleus gets too tight and your gastrocnemius gets too tight and you lose that foot mobility, it prevents the bones of your foot from locking up to propel you, and so then your plantar fascia would take all the stress. And that was the exact scenario that I had, where I used to drive an old Land Rover, and it had a really stiff clutch, and that stiff clutch made me lose my range of motion in my left foot, so I couldn't, I had no mobility. So over time, with all the running that I began doing, my plantar fascia was taking all the stress, and it led to plantar fasciitis. So I tried what he recommended one time after running. The next morning, I was fine. I didn't have any pain that I normally would have after running. So it's come a long way. I just have to keep doing it every day. Aside from that, I'm working on becoming more, getting my glutes more activated and becoming less quad dominant, which is what the place in Tampa had told me, competitive edge, and I knew it as well. I could tell I was much more quad dominant, so I'm starting to make that shift, and I'm realizing that squats and deadlifts are becoming much easier as my posterior chain is getting much stronger. And I'm working on my upper cross syndrome as well, so working on lower traps, rhomboids, scapular work, and my shoulders feel a lot better. They don't internally rotate when I try to work out chest. So that was a big thing as well that I had overcome more recent years, but then it still lingered a little bit. So that's pretty much it. Focusing on really stretching out hip flexors in order to activate glutes and get a nice leg extension in running. And so everything's coming together. My dream is still to perform on a professional level, in a sense where I could get sponsored and do well in races and push new exist. So that has to happen, now. Now is my time. So I have to correct these injuries. 30 years old. This is physical peak is late 20s to early 30s. So if I want to make it happen, now's the time. The goals that I had mentioned previously, the Guinness records, I haven't had the focus. I've had other priorities recently, so now that everything is falling in line, I got a new car, I'm out of my last relationship, I'm more financially stable, my business ventures are on track, so now I can begin to focus more so on the training. And I do want to strive for each one of those records. I want to try the rope climbing one, but I have to drop weight for that, and I'm not ready to do so. I want to attempt the 600-pound farmer's carry, but I'm not ready to do so yet. And I also want to attempt the heaviest strict curl at my body weight, so at a 181 weight class. So I also want to attempt that soon, but not yet. And there was one more, I believe. Or was that it? I think that was it. But I've added them to the list. I will do them one at a time, at the right time. But for now, I'm just training for obstacle courses and peak performance, overcoming my injuries, and just stay tuned for the journey.